Hello, VOCA Vixens. It's time for our second quarter report, and so I have a short video for you to watch at your convenience and to rewatch if you have additional questions, or you can always feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. The deadline for entering all of the information for the second quarter report is Friday the 13th of April. And our reporting period is January through the end of March. So I realize you have a little bit of time left, but I wanted to give you a heads up about some of the things that we can do this time that are a little bit different and will, I think, save time and help everyone be on the same page. They include using Gmail and logging into that, a new color coding system, sorting by client number, and I wanted to talk about new versus returning clients. So the very first thing that you do when you get ready to put your VOCA data in is go to Gmail. So when you do that, my Gmail is already on the data tracking worksheet. But what you want to do is just look for this little grid, and when you click on that, you'll go to Drive, and it will pull up this page right here, and you'll see the database. My page is going to look a little bit different than yours because I have other documents. But you're looking for the VOCA data tracking worksheet. Just click on that and it will open. Now keep in mind while it opens that it may look like you're ready to go right now, but you're not because this stuff is gray. It's just because it takes a moment for this large database to load. But the very first thing you should do when it does load is change the zoom level to 75%. And that's because the header rows here are so large, they take up so much of your screen that it's really difficult for your computer to capture all that information. So you may even get a pop-up that says, the window's too small to display the sheet, resize your browser. So the way you do that is up here for zoom, and you just want to click on that and pull it down to 75%. When you do that, it's just going to make everything a little bit smaller. That's the only deal. You'll notice that when this document opened, it automatically opened in the first quarter. So there's a tab for each quarter at the bottom, and you want to make sure you're on the correct one, which is quarter 2. And when you get there, you'll see that we have a color coding system and a little bit different approach this quarter. We'll try it and see how it works. And again, just remember to go to quarter 2. You'll see the reporting period and the deadline for data entry up here. So I've assigned everyone a color. These are all of the people that enter information in this database. And that's important because sometimes you might have entered a client ID but only partial demographic information, or maybe you forgot to put in the type of victimization. There are several things that can happen, and last time it was difficult to discern that, and I know that several of you went back through all of your data entry to see if the mistake was yours. So this way we can just track who entered the client information for each row. And the way that will work is that instead of searching every single time to see if your client is already in the database, I'm just using a few of the numbers here. So what we'd like for you to do, these numbers are already in order, but what you will do is you'll sort all of the client IDs that are already there, and then you'll insert a row for wherever your client fits in that numerical order. And so let's take a look at what that would look like. So let's just say Wendy is working with a client, and she is a new client, and she wants to enter them into the system. So Wendy's client number is going to be, there's a gap here, so let's just say it's 45492. So Wendy would go here and click on this next cell, and you can either right click and insert a row above That's probably the easiest way to do it if you're used to using right click. You can also use the insert button, and it will give you the option to insert a row above or below. I'm one of those people that prefers to right click. So let's just say that we're gonna, now we've got a blank row here, and Wendy can go ahead and enter her client's information, which is 45492. That's the client number that she's entering. And when she hits return, it will automatically save up here, and you'll see that. So now we want to make sure that we know that Wendy entered that information. And so we're going to go up here to Wendy's color, and we'll click on that cell. And all we have to do is click on this little paintbrush up here. And that will remember the color that Wendy has been assigned. This just means, do you want the Google Doc to remember some information by using your clipboard? And you can say yes. So then we go back down here to the number that we entered for her. And when we click on it, it will change that cell to Wendy's color. So go ahead and leave these up here, but they'll always be up here so that you can go and find them. Let's just say that's a mistake, and we don't want to, she chose the wrong color. She's been entering the information, but this was Amanda's client. So she wants to remove that color. All she has to do is hit undo, and it will take it off. That's probably the easiest thing. If you hit redo, you can see that the other thing you can do is click on format and clear formatting. It's the very last option. And again, all of that is pretty easy to do. So let's say it was Amanda's client. We would go up to Amanda's color, click on it, paint, a little paintbrush, go back down to it, click on it again, and now it's going to be orange. So again, that's very easy to do. So the way that this works is when you insert rows, I think that will be very easy for you and allow you to see where your client goes and keep them in order. If for some reason they do get out of order, all you have to do is sort them. And I'll show you how to do that. It's I don't know that you should have to do it all of the time, but I want to show you how to do it just in case you need to. So all of these things are already in here. See how it says point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, and these are in order too. So if I want to sort them, then I need to select all of the cells that I want to sort. And again, you need to select them from the numbers of the row, not from anywhere else in the document. So we selected them from here, from clicking on this, not from over here. If you just select something over here, it's only going to sort those few cells, whereas this is going to sort everything and all the data that goes with it. So that's important. And then you want to go to data and sort. And this is not a custom thing. It's very easy. They're already in order from A to Z, or numerical order. So let's put them in backwards numerical order. So then when you click that, it's going to flip them all around. So these, again, are all less than 1, but it's going to flip them around and put them in backwards order. And then here's the highest client ID down to the lowest in our sort range. And so that if you need to sort it, that's how you do it, and that's how you'll know where you want to insert your row for the client that you are entering. I am going to delete this information because it is not, it was just for instructional purposes. But there's one other thing I wanted to do, and that was to talk to you about these new and continuing individuals. Since we're in the second quarter, we will have some continuing individuals. You may remember that a new person is defined as someone who's here to see us for the first time. If they're here to see us for the second or third time, even since this VOCA year started, but they're here for a different disclosure, then you can consider them new again. Otherwise, they're going to be continuing. And then, again, if you want to read these notes, all you have to do is click on this little triangle, or just hover on the cell, and it will display the note. So a continuing individual is anyone we see in a subsequent quarter. For therapy, for instance, they would be continuing. And again, those notes are up there. I think we only had 2 last time, but you may talk to someone, especially if you're an advocate, you may talk to someone on the phone and, refer them to some services or provide some kind of help. And if you don't get their demographic information, then you don't create a client ID, then just count them as anonymous. And that's what that's for. So if you have any questions, it helps if you can actually do this yourself. It helps you to get comfortable with it. But if you do have any questions, please give me a call. I know that some of you are anxious to get started entering your second quarter data. A few already have. There are some numbers in here because Michelle G has entered them. And she does not have a color assigned to her because she enters so many for the first time. So if you're Wendy and you're doing therapy with this client, then you would go ahead and change this blank cell to your color so that I know that you have made edits to that. Thanks everyone for your patience and for learning to use the Google Doc. And I will talk to you soon.